Okay, hello again. We are back for another declutter. This is declutter number 6, and I'm going to kind of go through and organize my hobbies, which I actually have kind of like a rotation that I do where I have like one drawer in my living room is kind of like the hobby that I'm interested at the time, and the rest is in these storage bins. Um, if you haven't been following along, hi, my name is Hannah, and I am using the month of January 2026 to declutter my entire home. So if you're interested in kitchen or closet or, whatever thing you're interested in decluttering, there are other videos to watch. But today is declutter number 6, hobbies. So I've surprised myself. I got everything out. I've been hauling these bins and things out of my crawl space, and I was a little bit surprised as to like how much stuff there is, and how much space hobbies can take up. So let's go through it together. So, quick little tour just of my personal belongings would be sewing stuff. I've got more books back there that I've like intended to read. We'll talk about that later. Sewing machine. I have camera and photography stuff. I love bird watching off my porch in the summer and looking up what the bird is. I have 3 bird watching books. Like, why? And then I have more camera equipment in that bin. I do make my own shampoo, and that's one thing that I want to move to the indoor hobby space. I'm repurposing my little tin box that I have for seeds for the garden this year. I'm really excited about that. I think that'll be really cute. I do knit. That whole box right there is filled with more yarn. We're gonna need to get rid of that. So a few things about hobbies. Number 1 is find a storage solution where you can have everything you need for your hobby in one space, whether it's, a knitting basket that holds all of the odds and ends. If it's a bigger hobby, get a bin, or if there's like more stuff so that you can put everything together. It can all be stored together. It just eliminates some of that friction when you're like, okay, I want to get out this and do this thing. The other thing is accessibility to the hobby. Some of these things were way in the back of my crawl space, which is actually, really great storage solution because it's out of the way. It's not cluttering up my home. Hi, baby. Are you really interested in what we're doing? It's not cluttering up your home. It's out of the way, but it's actually kind of hard to get to. So what I do to solve my accessibility issue is I rotate different hobbies, because I don't do all of my hobbies all at the same time. I will rotate them in, and I have a hobby drawer in my living room. So for a season, I might have knitting and knitting and sketching in my hobby drawer, and I can just have quick and easy access to them when I'm, sitting by the fire or whatever it is. I can just like grab it out and work on a project. It also allows me to have projects that are in process and easy access to them, and they go away because it all goes in the drawer. If there's a hobby that I'm not as excited about in the moment, I will put them in one of these storage bins and pop them back in the crawl space. So that's another really easy thing to think about, is just accessibility to your hobbies. And if you're getting bored of something, just rotate it out, you know? Babe, what's going on? Oh my goodness. My cat is really into hobbies. Oh my goodness. What is it, babe? Yeah. Are you stuck? The other thing that I obviously wanted to talk about was decluttering your hobbies often. I try to keep up on this, but really I need to like stop and do a better job of it, because sometimes I end up with things like this bright yellow yarn that does not inspire me. I got this for a project that I was working on. I had done a blanket that had a little moon in it, like this big, and I just needed a little bit of yellow in that project. But really, I don't look at this and say like, ooh, I want to do a hat or something. It's not my color, and it's not a gift that I would probably give. So I am going to donate this to a friend with kids who might be more excited about this like bright yellow color. And I think that's true for a lot of your hobby storage, is you end up with little things that maybe were for a project, whether it's like a certain bolt or a screw, and it's in with your hobby stuff, but it's not like continually part of the hobby. Just declutter those things, get rid of those things, and it will make your hobby so much more fun to get out and interact with, because they're not cluttered with extra stuff. So yeah, those are my main tips for hobby storage and organization. I am gonna go through some of these yarns. I'm gonna ask myself if they still inspire me, keep the ones that do, get rid of the ones that don't. You can also use our repurchase method that we used a lot in the closet overhaul video, which is, if you are standing in a store, would you repurchase that item today? Like, are you just as excited about it? Which is similar to like, does it inspire you? But it's just a better way. It's not a better way, a good way of thinking about it, because you can kind of picture yourself there. And if the answer is no, I wouldn't repurchase it, maybe it doesn't have the same value that you think it does. So yeah, I'm gonna go through some of these things and then head off to dinner with some friends, but I will be back again tomorrow to keep going through stuff. So we have this one down here is my kind of hobby of the moment drawer. And currently we have some acrylic paint, colored pencils. This is kind of like just fun for when it's cold, winter crafts. More colored pencils, more paint. And then this box has, this was a paint by numbers that was really fun. And then this box just has some more kind of like crafty things. So yes, we need to clear this out. And then I guess I do have kids crafts. is 6:47 in the morning. I've been up since 3 a.m. It just goes to show that it's really hard to sleep when you have stuff out and clutter in your home. I'm not even sure I fell asleep last night. I was awake, it felt like every 5 minutes, just kind of not thinking about the clutter, but like I think your subconscious mind just kind of knows, like, ooh, your space is really messy. You're not gonna sleep. So I went through all of my pens and made sure they all worked, had a nice relaxing morning testing pens. And now I'm just going through some of the odds and ends that were in my kind of seasonal craft drawer. And I'm gonna pick out some things to go into the craft drawer that'll be kind of this season's crafts. So it'll be great. And I was thinking it would also be so beneficial for children. If you have kids, rotating out their hobbies and their crafts would be so beneficial. I know my niece gets a little bit overwhelmed by all of the stuff that's just out all the time in her space, and it almost feels like she has nothing to play with because she has so many things that are just boring to her now because she's already played with all of them and they've just been out in front of her for for forever. So just putting things away in bins and rotating through them, I think for kids you'll get so much more use out of them because it kind of like renews the excitement pulling things out. So I just wanted to hop on and share that tidbit that I was thinking about as I work through some things. Okay, I sorted through all of my hobbies. This is way more manageable. And you can see I have 3 empty bins stacked up there. Very happy with this. And as I was going through, there were a few moments where I was kind of thinking like, oh, I just don't want to decide. Maybe I was getting tired, but I kind of wanted to just keep things so that I didn't have to decide. And I don't know what the best solution for that is, but I know that I've kept a lot of things because I just don't want to make a decision. And I think I was a little bit tired. I think I was just getting sleepy. But there were a few things that I ended up keeping, like fabrics in particular, that I couldn't decide if it inspired me or not, and I just ended up keeping them. And then there were a few things that I forced myself to get rid of because the bin wouldn't close. So I kind of set a goal for myself, like this bin has to close and close easily. And I like forced myself to get rid of a few things based on that, and then just allowed myself to keep some things that I wasn't sure about. On that note, I started going absolutely crazy. So this video is going to be a little bit late. I've literally pulled every single thing out of my crawl space. I have piles of things sitting all over my apartment, strategically not behind me, so you don't have to look at them. But it's nice to just really take everything out, like almost like the kind of deep clean that you do when you're moving somewhere. You have to really take everything out. Sorry, my cat is bumping the camera. So I've taken everything out, I've vacuumed, and I'm gonna start putting everything back. Hi, sweet girl. I'm gonna start putting everything back with intention and really getting rid of stuff so that I can see things in my crawl space. And whew, it's a little bit tiring, but I've really got the bug now. This whole process of decluttering and getting rid of stuff and then going and using the things that I kept and really appreciating what I have and how it's clean and organized, it just makes things a joy to use. So this has been so rewarding of a process, and I highly, highly recommend taking on something like this, because now every time I open my closet, I'm like, oh, it's just a relief to be able to find things, and I'm just really, really enjoying it. So yeah, now I have the bug, and I'm going above and beyond the goals that I had set for myself. So, and my cat is really enjoying it as well. She has a rotation of empty baskets now that she is napping in and loving it. So, well, anyway, I hope that this helps you in decluttering some of your hobbies, and also some of those notes of just like rotating your hobbies, keeping things interesting, and keeping things organized. The strategy of using these like clear storage bins too, I'm able to like see in the sides and see things and find things. Just makes it a little easier. If you already have like opaque storage bins, you know, don't go buy something new. But if you're shopping for storage bins, I really appreciate these clear ones. And yeah, you don't have to put labels on them, because who wants to label everything? And if you use the storage bin for something else, you have to replace the label. It's just silly. Just get a clear bin. And yeah, I'm gonna put these back in my storage crawl space, and in an organized way, and they're not as heavy as they were. And yeah, I hope that this video helped you in your organizing journey, and I hope to see you in the next one. God bless you, and I hope you're having just the best day. See you later. Bye.